Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Colin, and I'm here to do my retrospective. I like the opening. I like the women's last woman standing match. Sorry, I did not love the end. I thought that was weak. I mean, you can clearly tell Tyson Fury. He hasn't been in. He's not a wrestler. He's a boxer. Um, it's funny because they bitch about Brawl for All, and yet they book this on a Monday night, which is just silly. Um, I do think that them doing that just showed that they're not very creative. Um, what would I do right now? Number one, this draft thing is coming Friday, so I'm telling anybody who's the writer and part of creative, do not draft Seth Rollins and do not put the Fiend in the draft. Number one, I wouldn't even fucking do this draft. It's fucking stupid. You're one company. You're one fucking company. What are you doing? If this were me, because they didn't do shit with Seth at all on Monday, and they should have. And I get they were. I don't even know why they had Becky Lynch in a match other than the tag match. It was like, what are you doing? Why are you? But for me, what I would do with Seth Rollins would be Monday Night Raw would open with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch going on a date throughout the day. Obviously, they would film this earlier in the day. Becky Lynch and, because they're married, and Seth Rollins are going on a date. They're having dinner. And during dinner, the waiter is just a waiter. But Seth Rollins sees the feed. Everywhere he goes with Becky, he himself sees the feed. He stands up and pushes the fucking waiter. And Becky gets it. What are you doing? Have her sell this. This is where you could have her sell really good. And you could have this build here where, again, anywhere they're going, they're seeing fit. And he apologizes to her. I'm so sorry. I thought you were someone else. He's out. He's losing his fucking mind. And really, after everything they've set up through Hell in a Cell, why not have him lose his goddamn mind? I mean, this is simple logic, and I think the writers and Vince and Pritchard and them aren't applying simple logic to this. They're just not. Where's your simple logic? This should be your logical move to set up a story of Seth Rollins going insane. And here's Seth. They're at dinner. He sees the feed as the waiter, but it's not really the feed. It's just the waiter. And they end up ordering food. And when the same waiter, again, he sees the feed. It's like, what the fuck? He stands up. He's about to hit him. And Becky's like, no, no, no. What the hell are you doing? Are you crazy? She's even starting to question it by the second time. After dinner, they go to a movie. When they go up to the ticket booth, he reaches in and gets money to pay for it. At the ticket, he sees the feet, and you see him take his hand and smack the glass. What the fuck? What do you want from me? And again, Becky, what are you doing? It's just a ticket. And the guy's looking at him like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what's your deal? Again, have Seth Rollins be the only one who's seeing this because he's legitimately going fucking crazy. Have him play this out. And by the end of the night, here's what I would do. They're coming out of the movie theater. I would get somebody who you haven't shown on NXT to be some fans of Becky and Seth, and they're wanting some autographs. Just like get 5 or 6 people. have an NXT, obviously have someone from NXT, that way they can take a bump. And one of the people, the fans, looks like the Fiend. Well, Seth's been seeing this all fucking night, so he snaps. He fucking punches a fan. You know, it's somebody, it's a wrestler, obviously, but we think it's a fan. And he keeps hitting him. Becky can't get him off this person. And finally, the cops, are called. And they're arresting Seth Rollins for assault. And at the hospital, the fans like, I'm going to press charges. And Becky makes a deal with the fan and the cops. Well, what if I commit him? Because he's been having problems. She would have to do this. She would have to be a part of this angle because that's his wife. When you're married, only your spouse can 302 you. So his spouse, being Becky, 302s him. She puts him in the mental ward of the hospital. And so they give her the Universal title because he can't take that with him back there. And she goes to Vince McMahon. We actually get Vince in this storyline too because he's the owner of the company. And inside the hospital, he would keep seeing the Fiend. The trend would continue. And he tries to attack them in there for seeing the Fiend. He sees one person as the Fiend. No! And he screams no and starts swinging. They put him in a straitjacket. And by the end of Raw, you get a doctor meeting with Vince McMahon. And the doctor tells him, Vince, Mr. McMahon, I'm doctor, make up a name. I would have him be Dr. Voorhees, just to do a shout out to Friday the 13th. That would be my doctor's name. But Frank Voorhees, there you go, Dr. Frank Voorhees. That sounds like a normal name. But I would have this doctor say he's not mentally stable. By the end of Raw, Vince McMahon is stripping Seth of the title because he's not mentally competent to compete in wrestling right now. You're selling an angle that Seth is crazy. He's in this, and you keep showing updates and building Seth. So I think that's something they could definitely play with and toy with. Let me know what you guys think. And let me know you guys' thoughts on what you would do. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.